At age 92, and with 76 years of service as a volunteer, Chief J. West Thompson may not be the oldest living volunteer firefighter, but he is the oldest known living that is still active with the Maryland State Firemen's Association and his fire company, the Goodwill Fire Company of Centerville, Maryland.
I was born, believe it or not, next door in the upstairs room, 50 feet from the firehouse. It was not a fire station at this time. It was a coal and lumber yard. Our firehouse was up in the center of town, and after we got in the fire company, we would leave school when the siren blew and would have to run all the way up 3.5, 4 blocks to get to the firehouse, which we did. Sometimes we left, the teachers didn't think too much of it, but the principal had given us a go, so we did it. Well, the original firehouse was in back of the courthouse, which is right over across the street here. I don't believe you noticed it or not. But that was the original firehouse. Then they moved to Commerce Street, which was next to the theater, which was destroyed before in later years. They were there, and then they moved to Water Street to a very small cubbyhole, 3 trucks in a row. That was it until we moved here. That was our fire station. We decided to build this building, which was very, very small, with 2 doors, and from that we continued on to where we are today. I got my first job here in the company after several years. I served as secretary. I served as assistant chief, a chief, and president of the company. I served during the time.
Today, at age 92, he is still an active member of the Goodwill Fire Company in Centerville, Maryland, keeping almost perfect attendance at the twice-monthly company meetings and chairing the Memorial Gifts Committee. Mr. Thompson continues to work alongside other fire department members at the twice-yearly chicken barbecues that have become a tradition and fundraiser for the company. He also continues to work at the yearly Summer Fire Department Carnival. While not a fire department apparatus driver anymore, he still puts on his Class A uniform and rides apparatus to as many parades as possible. Most recently, he rode Goodwill Fire Company apparatus through the parade in Easton, Maryland, celebrating the 200th anniversary of the Easton Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated.
You know, this fella been around a few years. I think he was on every truck committee we ever had, but he's also on the first ambulance committee we had. Bought that first ambulance, and then he drove it the first time it went out. I think I went out with him and took a few pictures of the accident scene that day. But he drives every truck and every ambulance we ever had, but he doesn't drive them anymore. He wouldn't even let me drive them anymore either.
My name's Mike McHugh, originally Prince George's County. Then I went to Anne Arundel County and was chief of the Arnold Fire Department for 10 years. I saw the light move to the Eastern Shore. I've been a member of Goodwill Fire Company now for approximately 10 years, and I'm very happy to be here. It's been my pleasure to know Mr. West. I've taken him and Dan to several Chiefs Committee meetings, and it's like a history lesson. It really is great. They've got a lot of history behind them, and it's very interesting. And they're good guys.
I'm DJ Whippy. I'm president of Goodwill Fire Department. This is my second term as president. When I joined, I got the pleasure of knowing Mr. West. Call him Captain West. He's got several more years than me, and up to about 2 or 3 years ago, we had the pleasure of him still riding our fire equipment. We finally had to tell him to back off a little bit, and now he comes and goes, and usually when we get back from the fire calls, Mr. West is sitting at the table wanting to know information about it. It's been a pleasure knowing Mr. West, and I hope he sticks around for plenty more years.
I'm still a member of the Goodwill Fire Company. I've been a member for 75 years. And I don't go to fires anymore. I don't drive the ambulance anymore. My son told me a couple years ago if I didn't get off the ambulance, we were going to have a wreck and the whole family would be sued. So I ended my ambulance duties, but I'm still around and I do all that I can for the fire company. I've served on many, many committees and still going. Do all I can. I'm 92 years old. My birthday was in January. And I've had a couple sick spells, but overall, right now, how about I tell you, we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you're good.